안녕하세요. 감사합니다. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so happy to see all these beautiful ladies in front of me and to speak and promote about Georgia and my country. First of all, I would like to express my special appreciation for the COOKTALK studio for organizing this event today and to make today's date extraordinary for all of us. Today I will try my best to mesmerize you with Georgian tradition and culture and the taste of Georgia together. I think that maybe few of you heard about the Georgia, about my country, which is in the Eastern European country, but it dates around 8,000 years. And this country is the famous in one thing, that what we did for the humanity. That first wine, which has been found, the first traces, it was 8,000 years ago in Georgia. And today we will have the journey back to the 8,000 years ago. And I will speak about the Georgian wine and you will taste and enjoy. Okay, this is a small photo which has been done in the Bordeaux in France. In 2018 we had a very big exhibition. Georgia was the one of the special guests at that exhibition, and we managed with our national museum at that time to bring all the artifacts, mostly what has been found 8,000 years ago, which is proving that Georgia is the motherland of the winemaking. And why Georgia is the motherland of the winemaking? It's not about the grapes only and jars. Why it's so unique that we are making this tradition, keeping this tradition 8,000 years uninterrupted. This is the most important because that all the civilization of the world, they had wines, of course, but if we will see the map of the world at that time, the civilization started, wine civilization started in Georgia and entered rest in our planet. We have 520 types of indigenous grapes in Georgia, which means that our DNA is wine, mostly. And my country is only 70,000 square meters, less than Republic of Korea, for sure. But with its nature and with its climate, it's very diverse and very rich. And Georgia itself, the country name, means the land of the agriculture. This name was given to us very old time ago. Now I prepared especially for you a very interesting and similarity between Korea and Georgia. That both of our nations is one of the oldest in the planet. You are counting 5,000 years, we are counting 8,000 years. And before I've been posted here, I made some research that. What type of similarities of our national is it? And I found very interesting moment in our history pages, recent history pages, that in 2013, UNESCO inscribed as an intangible heritage of the kinjang making of the Korean people, for the Korean people. And the same commission, same time, same date, the Georgia received from the UNESCO as well intangible heritage acclamation of the Georgian traditional winemaking process. Which means that both of us, it proves that we have very, very big history pages and we are keeping these traditions throughout the centuries. That's why that we have been discussed on the same commission, on the same table and with same judges at that time. And it's very touchy moment, I think, for all of us. I think this really reunites us in some way. Let's start with the wine. Named Rkatsiteli. This is from Kakheti region, from that part of my country. It's one of my favorite ones. And why we are starting with this wine? Because that is very good for starting. You see, now I would like to show you something, but it's not enough, please, we are continuing. I show you this Rkatsiteli, this wine, which is coming from here, from Kakheti, And this wine, why this color? It has just normal white color because that it made in the European way. Now I have the same grape, Katsiteli, but this is amber wine, made in Quevri. Here, which is the organic one. This is the difference between the amber wine color. This is the naturally made. Now you could see the comparison between this organic. I cannot say that this is not organic. Both of them are organic, but this is purely organic because this process of the fermentation is naturally passing here. Regarding the amber wine, once again, like that, our cuisine is very rich, like yours. We have more than 100 dishes in Georgia, around 150 types of cheese because of wine, and it's very rich culture like that, like yours. And wine should be baptized with food, definitely. And why this amber wine, it's so long, lives and develops, because it fits to any food. There is no dimension that it should go with fish or meat or some dessert or anything like it. Which means that when it comes to the diversification, when the foods are coming, like this amber wine is becoming richer and richer while you are changing the food. It's very interesting like it. We have very big feasts in Georgia culture. We are around 5 hours or 6 hours are having our feast dinners. And during the 6 or 5 hours, like that, all the foods are coming, like around 3 floor food will be on the table. And we are drinking all the time with this amber wine because that it goes with any dimension of the food taste, even with the dessert. Okay, this is I would like to show. We've been already talking about these issues, but about the evolution, how the wine entered in our world. This is the chronicles of the development and civilization of the wine culture in our globe. And it started 8,000 years ago, 6 million BC. And it goes through till our days. On the video, we have been talking about the religious as well, because that wine became, for instance, in Christianity, part of the religion ceremonies as well, which means that wine got another boost of evolution in some way, because that the religious brought a lot of input in terms of the development of the wine and culture together, and it became not only part of the traditional culture, but it became part of the religious ceremonies as well. This is very interesting moments in our history that Georgia was progressing, wine was developing, then it entered to the civilization in the different times, of course, France, Italy, so many countries in Latin America, Africa, Australia, United States started producing wines like that. It's coming and it's progressing yearly. But what was happening in Georgia, like in the last 30 decades when it comes to the wine, because that Georgia was the country, unfortunately, occupied by the USSR for 70 years, and it was a landlocked for the international community country, because we did not have ability to export our production around the world. That's why that acknowledgement regarding the Georgian wine in the modern history, it's now getting the boost. And for instance, like it became so famous for now in Asia. Last year we have exported around 26 million bottles in China, 12 million in Japan, and in Korea, is daily basis is becoming very demanded on the market, and plus famous on the other side. I will recommend you to eat something or drink water now, because that red wine is going to enter, and it's gonna have the totally different taste in your mouth, and I think that to catch up with its purity and originality of this red, wonderful Saperavi wine, which is one of the most well-known grape for the rest of the world. Mostly we are exporting this apparel outside. Okay, I will switch why I push. This is my capital, Tbilisi, one of the oldest towns, I think, in the world. And it's old part of the city. And why I brought this presentation, because the Georgia became one of the most demanding touristic country in the world in the years to come. And it became very popular in Korea as well. And this pandemic, frankly speaking, stopped our efforts, but as an embassy we started a very ambitious project 4 years ago, and the tourists from Korea in Georgia raised 400%. And it's raising and raising daily basis. And why? Because this place, for instance, you could see, while I was speaking about this 8,000 years, and why I was speaking about this small tiny Georgia, this is another similarity with the Republic of Korea in terms of the history as well, because that we are in the middle of the big empires like that. Behind us, for it was the Persian Empire, Ottoman Empire, Russian Empire, and Georgia survived till today, this small piece of land. And all these empires and occupations and invasions left something in my country, and this is one of the most biggest thing. This is the religious tolerance, because that we are surrounded by the Muslim neighbors and Christianity together. And you could see it, very few countries in the world, you could see that in the middle of the town, that Muslim mosque, Christian church, Catholic, Orthodox, Jewish synagogue, everything in 500 meters throughout the century operating. It's not the town street, which is the new. And this is the modern, for instance, and which is good as well, but it's very rare to find that type of religious tolerance in the rest of the world. That's why that our cuisine, our traditions, and everything is so diverse. Okay, now I will speak regarding the toast, which I promised. Okay, while they are sipping, they are giving us the red wines, I'm gonna speak about this, some kind of a little bit very interesting part from our history and the similarities between our countries. As I mentioned, that we are interests of the big empires, geopolitically speaking. Same with the Republic of Korea, that. This is the same type. You have the big neighbors, you are part of the big empires games as well, like us. This is another similarity between our countries, and that's why I could say that we are one of the few nations who are understanding what does it mean peace in the Korean Peninsula. Because in Georgia we are struggling, fighting till today for our territorial integrity. Till today we have 20% occupied by our big neighbor, which is Russia. And I would like to say one thing, that first toast in Georgia is for peace. It's very interesting because that's all this, having the heavy pages from our history and for the occupation and our wounds still sword, and communities are divided. That's why these traditions are keeping till today, and first toast is mandatory to say for peace. Second toast, as usual, we are saying for victory, Aumarjos, what we are saying. This is very interesting moment as well, because that you are wishing the person to be lucky or to be successful and to be victorious. This is the cheers kambe. And third one, we have very strong culture of the mother, because that for the ladies. Why? Because that we are a small nation, and the lady is giving the birth for the next warrior to defend your country. And we cherish a lot women's institution. In the 12th century, for instance, we had a first country at that time. We had a woman called Queen who was ruling the Georgia, and she was so strong that we've been calling her king at that time. and ruler was the woman. Woman is having very, very big influence in the Georgian culture and its history and big respect. Like we are saying that woman is the spine of the family, and it still continues like that. This is some kind of, and it goes and goes and goes, like a philosophically speaking. And what is the similarity between us? I would like to philosophically speak that both of us, we are warrior nations, like, and we are till today we are fighting for the peace, and in our DNA is survival, for sure, because that both of our nations, like that, we are till today trying to find our place within the international community and to be strong and defend. And what was the survival of the Korea and Georgia like? And I found very interesting moment like that. This is our languages. Both of us, we have unique languages like that. You have your Hangul, we have our Georgian, which is one of the oldest languages in the planet. Both of them are UNESCO heritage. But your language, among the 14th oldest languages in the planet, youngest one, because this is in the 14th century. Georgian is the 4th century, for instance, Georgian language. Yeah. And that's, I think that language survived us, because that having these big empires coming and influencing us, what was the survival remedy? Language, because to recognize us, to not vanish from our deeds. And I think that language was one of the most strongest driving force of the survival of our nations. Kambe for Georgia and Korea. Okay, now our small introductory event is going to be closed, and I will try to pass our small Christmas and New Year gift to all of you. This is coming from us, from the embassy, to remember today's date and just enjoy with your families and friends with the talks about the Georgia.